What is a movie cliche that you never really see? Seriously doubt that black market arms dealers and terrorists conduct 90% of their business in the middle of a club full of strangers with techno music blaring quietly, as to not cause suspicion. "I'll have the AK-47 arms dealer, can't hear you lad, pipe up," I said. "I'll have the AK-47 nightclub scene stops." Or that they actually come to the meet themselves instead of sending somebody else. People turning the water on in a shower while standing directly under it. I recall reading an AskReddit thread or something similar where someone mentioned they so only took baths and refused to take showers, and months later finally asked why, and it was because they didn't like standing under the freezing water waiting for it to get warm. The thread evolved into a surprising amount of people realizing that they do this, and it never occurred to them to just let the water run before getting into the shower. So, I'm not sure it's as uncommon as this comment is suggesting. Edit, never expected this comment to get as much traction as the one I mentioned. Fucking psychopaths not even waiting for it to reach something beyond bone-chillingly fucking cold. Person A, how do I know that I can trust you? Person B, you don't. Person A immediately proceeds to trust person B. This is my favorite one because it's so true. I can even hear it in my head, the music playing in the background as person B smolders after delivering that line, as person A gives them a knowing look of trust. To person A's foreshadowed detriment. Lol. People fucking and then rolling over and going to sleep. Do people actually just let it ooze out and then sleep in a wet spot all night? The eloquent poetry of that question. If you only went by Hollywood movies you would have no idea anything comes out at all. No one ever gets a towel or tissues or does any cleanup at all. Or was he wearing a condom already, just in case? No one ever wants to give their partner the benefit of the doubt. So many characters get caught doing something seemingly suspicious that could be explained/justified by giving context. But, of course, no one wants to take the 10 seconds to hear it. Or, they instantly jump to the worst conclusion. Eventually everything comes together and they realize they so never did anything wrong, apologize, and their so instantly takes them back, despite them clearly having no trust in their so. If you're already, accidentally or not, eavesdropping on someone, then stay at least until you have enough context to understand what the hell they're saying. All this I've heard enough, the wedding is off, TTYN. Is BS. Getting knocked out cold and being perfectly fine. Being knocked out long enough for someone to drive you to another location. You would have some serious brain damage if you were knocked out for that long. Archer meanwhile, no, I'm going to a neurologist. I was unconscious, that it like, super had for you. I don't think I've ever seen one person miss a basketball shot in a movie, ever. Except in basketball movies. They certainly don't have anyone like me in movies. Takes a shot. Misses and catches the rebound. 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 Repeat another 20 times before finally getting it in. I can explain, 30 minutes later, still hasn't explained. Or the alternative, where the whole problem could be done and over with after an explanation, but the other party just makes a big fuss and huge assumptions and never gives an option to explain. Something that really pisses me off is any story that could be resolved if the characters would just talk to each other. Wouldn't even need to be some long drawn-out explanation. It's artificial suspense, a situation that doesn't need to be so complicated as the story is making it. People taking like 20 stronger punches right on the chin like nothing. Add into this, fighting lots of people in a short time frame in general. Even if you don't take any punches, fighting is very physically demanding. Unless you train and fight at a professional level, you'd be gassed well before the end of the house fight sequence from the first John Wick movie. And no injury to bare hands. The head is pretty close to the hardest and most durable part of your body, Punching it with your fist tears up your knuckles and often breaks fingers. Asking someone out on a date, saying pick you up at 8. Then just leaving, no question on where the fuck they live or where they'll pick them up from. Sure thing, I'll WhatsApp you my zip code, oh yeah. I definitely have no idea where you live already. Postcode. A bedroom full of lit candles during sex. Talk dirty to me. Me, you like that? Why? Fire alarm, has a fucking conniption. They've had sex all night, and she's still wearing a bra. When two characters get out of a car and one says, so what are we doing here? Where are we? Or what's the plan? As if they didn't just have the entire car ride to discuss this. I've never had a friend say I'll explain later. And then sit silently in traffic until we get there and then okay, so hear the deal. One of the many great things in swingers. They get all excited to go to Vegas, exclaiming Vegas baby. And then you get the shots in the car along the way where they look super bored, Vince Vaughn meekly mumbling Vegas baby trying to stay hyped during the hours-long car ride. Similarly, any two characters that first speak remotely. I think you'd better get down here. What's the problem? Just get down here. No, motherfucker. My time is valuable. I'm not gonna leave the bridge for engineering just so you can show me the new warp coupling collars. I was a chef for 20 years. I waited 20 years for someone to say you're bleeding. One often is in the kitchen, just so I could reply I ain't got time to bleed. Quote from Predator. It never happened, pensive face. You're bleeding. I have a similar thing I'm waiting for. When someone asks how I'm doing, I usually say, same as always. I'm wanting someone to respond, that bad, huh? But it hasn't happened yet. This is in reference to the scene in Return of the Jedi where Han and Luke see each other for the first time while being captured at Jabba's palace and before they're taken to the Sarlacc pit. Your handgun has 52 bullets before reloading. And you can get shot anywhere and then just walk away and deal with it later. There's no time to explain. Well, I mean, in the same time it took to say that, you could have said there's a man chasing after me. Or we have to get to the hospital. Or literally any other simple phrase that gives a general idea of what the hell is happening. This is so fucking true. Like even a half-assed explanation is better than nothing. In every emergency I've ever been in, I've never once said there's no time to explain. Like I'd say at least we need to call an ambulance, so and so is hurt or I need to leave, I'm feeling really scared. No time to explain. Get in. 19-year-old part-timer at a fast food restaurant, living by themselves in a luxurious 2-bedroom apartment downtown in a major city. This one seems realistic. I've seen House Hunters. Mike is a dandelion farmer and Jill is a part-time yoga instructor. Their budget is $1.7 million. One thing about How I Met Your Mother is they use this for a joke where since the whole show is a retelling of the main character's early adulthood, the apartments actually weren't as nice as he remembers them as. House parties with a good girl-guy ratio. No smoke when there is fire. Depends on the kind of fire. A well-made campfire burning hot will produce almost no smoke. A house fire though? Yeah, all kinds of nasty materials partially combusting will produce a lot of greasy black smoke. I love Sons of Anarchy, but one thing always bugged me about it. Motorcycle chase scenes with old Impalas or similar vehicles. Even larger motorcycles can accelerate and corner much better than a car from the 70s. This, or any car chasing a human scenes, like 20 seconds of a guy running down the alley with a car 10 feet behind him, seriously? Or people shooting cars and cars driving like it's nothing, a single hole in the radiator, block, most sensors, EQ or firewall will shut down the engine, and in case of firewall hit the person so dead/stopped in 2 to 3 minutes of spirited driving at most. Yes, you see folks go through a gun battle and drive off, sometimes with wisps of steam for effect. If somebody accidentally misspeaks or fumbles over their words in a movie or TV show, it always is of great importance. And characters always just read way more into dialogue than people do in real life. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.